Representative Jamie Raskin says Congress will stop Donald Trump on J6 using the 14th Amendment and create civil war conditions once President Trump is elected. Civil war conditions. They already tried to kill him. Now they're trying to start a war with Iran. This is crazy town stuff. Everything they accuse Trump of, they're publicly doing. And they mean business. Here's a clip.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and civil war conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
So there's the Democrat Party operative, Raskin, saying the legislative will override the judicial and the executive and will be in civil war conditions, and the rampaging Trump mobs that they'll finance have got to be dealt with. This is open fantasizing about civil war. In his own words, they've got the new viruses cooked up and the wars cooked up and just all of this, and big tech ready to do cyber outages and stock market crashes. We are in such a crisis.
If I said anything even close to that, the FBI would raid my home again. Here he is basically saying that if Trump is elected, it's up to us in Congress to void that election. As far as the Constitution, Amendment 14, Article 3, which federal court has convicted Trump of the crime of insurrection? That would be none. And he's not even charged with that, not even in D.C. So I think because he's consumed with hate and he has to blurt out their plan, he's laying it all out there. They don't really care how the people vote. They intend to try to void Trump's election if he wins. Raskin comes from a long line of Marxist radicals. He specifically leaked that he had proof of my involvement of January 6th, produced nothing whatsoever.
And then destroyed the record afterwards. So you're dead on. You just hit the nail. Elaborate. He just let slip their plan. What do we do to counter this?
Yeah, you've covered this extremely well at InfoWars. There is the same cabal of people, including a number at Georgetown University, who were involved in the Russian collusion hoax, who were involved in the 2 phony impeachments, who were involved deeply in the heisting of the 2020 election, and they're at it again. They're prepared to try to undo the 2024 election when President Donald Trump wins. And they're very extraordinarily open about this. Raskin just blurted it out there. I think that that's advocating insurrection. I actually think he's the guy who's in violation of the law.
How they're planning to remove Trump. They're going to have the states block his agenda. They're going to try to decertify him. The Democrats just say, Trump's not getting in. We've uncertified him. And you're like, well, that's unconstitutional. Yeah, all this is. And then that creates total bedlam, and we basically have a civil war. And they're crazy enough to destabilize everything and wreck everything. Even if they won't win this, they still may do it. And that's why we've got to admit they're doing it and admit they're programming it and admit they're trying it. And then you actually see Raskin on C-SPAN talking to their operatives, and he's one of their top strategists, saying, oh, we're not going to accept his election, we're not going to certify it, and we're going to create civil war conditions. They're recapitalizing their own Democratic Party destabilization squad. So they have the Islamists, they have the Black Lives Matter, backed and commanded by Antifa. They'll use any cop doing something wrong or thing out of context as their pretext. So what they're saying with the former CIA directors and former Defense Intelligence Agency directors and former, all these major groups, former defense secretaries, they're all out there running around, the Clappers, the Brennans, all of them saying, if Trump wins and we're unable to steal it, we're then going to activate the Islamic sleeper cells and the Black Lives Matter operations and the illegal alien MS-13 hit squads they've got to burn the country down. And we want executive orders and laws in place before Trump gets in that he's not allowed to use the military and the Insurrection Act against him. So that's one slice. So it's now official. The Democrats have said in their policy reports and statements that they are going to not certify Trump, hold up the election in the key battleground states and blue cities they control with their election officials, put in by Soros, who get rewarded to be the governors of Arizona after they steal the elections from Kerry Lake and Trump, the American people. They're just duplicating it everywhere. Kamala will then sit and decide on the non-certification of Trump as the VP. I mean, Milley bragged, yeah, I told the Chinese Trump isn't in command, that I've got the nuke codes and I'm the president on January 6th. That was a coup. They cut Trump off. They took all his social media away when he was saying don't go in the Capitol so they could frame him. Big tech, the Pentagon, the Pentagon directed that. They first silenced the president so they could lie about him. And then at that point, if he didn't step down, they were going to kill him. People said, oh, Trump should have kept fighting. He was completely cut off. 99% of his staff just left days before that. He was alone. And all the good people had already been run out. So these guys conducted a coup in the election. They cemented it. And now, I'm going to play the clips when we come back. Hell, I'll go to them right now. They are plotting inside the Pentagon on what they're going to do. And they're all getting together. They're all trying to convince each other of what they can do. But now they know they're being watched so closely, and they know the public's not naive, and there are a lot of good people in the military and in the different agencies that are mid-level that are watching them like a hawk, that if we expose this today, and if everybody picks up on it, which they are, and we get this to be one of the main topics in the next few weeks, they're done. But I want to explain. I don't say all this so the bad thing happens. People go, oh my God, he's so smart. I say all this stuff so we can stop them. And we've gotten big enough that we've stopped a lot of stuff together now. So we're not out of the woods, but I'm giving you some bad news. You can see it for yourself. So we can stop it. So let's go ahead and play the CNN clip. This is the coup. Scott Jennings responding to it, where they're just openly talking about, oh, because Trump's bad. He's going to do bad things, so they're having to talk about not following his orders. And then that introduces the idea of don't follow his orders. That's a coup. That's how coups always are. Oh, well, he was bad. We couldn't follow his orders. Operation Valkyrie against Hitler. You could say that was a good coup. But that's how it was. We didn't follow the orders, and then we did this. So this is how they introduce it to you. And then, oh, another clip. We're going to make Kamala the first female president. It's just a fun little gimmick. No, it's not. So it sounds more legitimate when they stage the terror attacks, blame it on Trump supporters, intimidate the political class, don't let Trump get in, kill Trump, kill Vance. that, oh, well, she was already president, so it's okay. Oh, well, she's a president. She's a president. Of course, they're never going to get away with that either. But they're trying it, and they're crazy.